Seventh grade, hey, welcome. This is our presentation on behalf of the entire seventh grade team on our expectations for this school year as we begin virtually or through remote learning. I'm Mr. Martin. A lot of you I know because I had you in sixth grade last year. I'm super stoked to get to work with you again this year in seventh grade. So as part of our expectations, I'm gonna cover some information about Google Classroom and how we'll be using that, the expectations around using it, and iReady. I'm gonna do a little demonstration here in a sec, but you want to keep in mind that when you go to Google Classroom, you're navigating to the classwork tab. That's how you're going to find all of your necessary information. It's all organized by topic and unit. And then really important, we really want to emphasize the importance of each of you being very diligent and full of integrity as you attach your work to your assignments. We don't ever want to see a work submitted that has no work with it. Don't be like this student right here who's skipping all the steps between receiving an assignment and clicking mark as done. There will be consequences for things like that. We don't want to have to do that, but we do expect each of you to attach your work to your assignments. Also, keep in mind that when you submit work late, or if you resubmit the work, if you've been given an opportunity to redo it for a different grade, please email your teacher separately to let them know that they have received that assignment. Again, Google Classroom doesn't do the best job of giving us timely information about late work or receiving that work that's been resubmitted. So let's do a quick demonstration. I'm gonna turn off my present for just a second, and we're gonna take a look at, now I can turn back on, and we're going to take a look at quick demonstration of how to do this. So here's a practice class to take a quick look at. This is what you would see when you are logging into Google Classroom. Now, this is the stream, and the stream can be kind of confusing because it's just posting everything that's coming up. We're suggesting you navigate to this tab here, Classwork tab. And as you can see within the Classwork tab, all of your assignments are organized based upon unit or topic. You choose an assignment, like I'll do this Get Done Now assignment. You want to view the assignment. And then here's that area, that important step. Don't just click mark as done. Don't do it. Instead, please add or create your work. Make sure you've completed your work, then click mark as done. Super important. We're going to be psyched to see you do that. All right. So once again, I'm going to turn off my present and return to one last thing to talk about, which is our iReady. Each week, you're going to need to take care of 45 minutes of math, 45 minutes of reading. Now, we'll be giving you, your teachers will be giving you in-class virtual time to be working on those kinds of things within reading, language arts, humanities class, and math class, but that might also mean you need to do some of it in the outside of class time. So that's my piece. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Devine next.
Hey all, I'm Mr. Devine. I'm going to be teaching humanities with Mr. Martin as well. I'm going to be talking about communications and form of communications, what's going to work best for us. Email is going to be the preferred form of communication for all of us teachers. We will see it quicker, and we will be sure to get back to you quicker if you send us an email, so please be sure to do that as your first step. There's also an app called Talking Points that parents can use if they prefer text over email, so that information will go out in a 7th grade survey that we'll be sending out as well. There'll be more information around that. Your advisory teacher is going to be your point person for any sort of questions that you might have, general questions about 7th grade. So if you have a question, please contact your advisory teacher first to answer some of those. That'll just keep some of that mass communication down. And then please make sure that your contact information is updated. We need to be able to reach you. So in order to do so, we need to be able to know where to get a hold of you. So please make sure that you keep that updated. That wraps it up for communications. I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Egger, who's going to talk to you about homework.
I'm Mr. Egger. So for homework, it will be assigned as needed, but what you don't finish in class becomes homework. Students are responsible for asking for and completing work when absent. It is not the teacher's responsibility to seek out every student that is absent. We need your guys' help in telling us when you are absent. Make sure you use our website, Google Classroom, and so forth, other classmates, before checking with the teacher on what you missed. And then the school policy is 1 day of makeup for every 1 day you missed of school. Now let's go over to attendance. So attendance will be taken through daily check-ins and video monitoring. Students are expected to be on time. Repeated issues with attendance and being on time will result in the parent contact. And if it keeps on being bad, unfortunately, we have to notify the principal and vice principals and get them involved. Nobody wants to do that. Be on time. If you cannot attend class, send a group email to all of your teachers and just let us know in advance, and then there's no issues. Watch any recorded lessons and complete any missing assignments for those days that you missed. Now I'm going to throw it over to Miss Beaverstad.
My name is Miss Beeve, and I teach 7th grade math. I'm going to start by talking with you about grading and academic honesty, and then I will review the e-learning board you will receive each Sunday night. So with grading, all classes will post their grades through Infinite Campus, same as last year. They will be graded on a 1 to 4 scale. Remember, 3 is meeting the expectation for 7th grade. You will have 4 classes that you will engage with each quarter. So 1 humanities class that will be for the full year. It used to be social studies and literacy as 2 separate classes, but now they have combined into 1 humanities class that you will have for the entire 7th grade school year. 1 math class for the entire 7th grade school year. 1 science class for the entire 7th grade school year. 1 elective per quarter. And 1 advisory class that you will have for the full school year. Make sure when you complete assignments, if you receive a missing alert in gradebook, that you are checking your Google Classroom, that you have attached the assignment or completed the assignment on Google Classroom and have turned it in. That's super important because that's where you will receive those missing assignments. Academic honesty. Make sure you're doing your own best work, give credit to sources when applicable, and contribute to partner and group work. Next, what I'm going to do is go into present mode. And show you guys the e-learning board for 7th grade. Now this is one we used from last year, and so this is just an example. It's not something to expect for first week of school, but I'm going to walk you through the layout of this and what you should expect to see every Sunday night moving forward into the week. So all teacher email addresses will be linked on this learning board, so it's easy access for you to email your teacher with any questions. And what you will notice is there's your humanities classes and who teaches those classes. It may vary what they're teaching each week. And so make sure you look at the e-learning board for the teachers that you have. And they will post a learning target and the success criteria for that week. In addition to the learning targets and success criteria, there will be must-do assignments that need to be completed by the end of the week, as well as may-do extensions. So these are assignments that aren't required, but if you're needing to go farther with your learning, these are opportunities for you. In addition to the humanities, so that social studies and literacy combined class and science, there's your math classes and your different teachers, same layout on the e-learning board, as well as a link to the electives e-learning board and information on what you will be engaging with for advisory for that week. So remember, we're not doing Pride and Wildcat this year. We have 1 advisory class. Student support services, so GT educator, resource, speech therapist, tips for successful online learning, and helpful parent links. So this is a great resource to have up while you are engaging with learning each day in class. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Devine, and he is going to finish up our expectations for 7th grade.
So I'm going to talk about the expectations. We last year used the Wildcat Way. And we separated into 3 categories that we want to see kids try and do at all times, which is be kind, make good choices, and work hard. We have 2 different times or ways that kids are going to be working this year. It's going to be in-person, virtual time, or at the same time as you're in class with your teacher, and then anytime. So this is when you're either in class with your teacher or when you're just working on an assignment by yourself. In order to be kind this year, we're going to ask that when you join or enter a class that you mute your microphone and then unmute to answer any questions or contribute when prompted. This is going to keep any sort of outside feedback or outside noise from disrupting the class. We're also going to ask that you avoid commenting on others' homes, backgrounds, or appearances. This makes everyone feel comfortable having cameras on so we can keep track of people and make sure that we're following along and having those nonverbal cues. But you wouldn't want anyone making comments about your stuff, so let's be kind about doing that to others as well. And then keep comments, as always, appropriate and relevant to the topic. Anytime, regardless of if you're with a teacher or not, if you need help or have concerns, please send a private email to your teacher or your counselor. And stay on topic when you're responding to the prompts or completing activities or assignments. And finally, we want you to speak up and reach out. Your educators, we want to support you. And in order to do that, we ask that you ask questions, state your needs, advocate for yourself. We want everyone to make good choices all the time. So in order to make good choices, we're going to ask that you respond to the chat in Meets when it's okay for everyone to read. Remember, chats are public, they're not private, so everyone can see what you're writing. And then use the chat only as prompted, so only to answer or contribute to learning, not as a distraction tool or something to get your neighbors off task. Use the appropriate language and responses when contributing to the discussions and doing activities, and always keep an open mind. We're going to welcome multiple perspectives in everything that we do, so make sure you keep an open mind when dealing with that. And then this is going to be a new learning experience for everyone, us as well as you guys as students, so please demonstrate patience and flexibility when you're working with others, and we'll afford you the same. Finally, in order to work hard, we're going to ask that you limit distractions during your learning time and be focused on the class and what we're doing at the time. Please listen and pay attention to what it is that we're doing and contribute to any learning topics. Any help that you need technology-wise, please ask for that help in the chat box, and then help others if you know the answers to those things, if you see people needing help. And then we're also going to ask that you check emails in Google Classroom regularly. In order to keep in touch with you guys, we need to be able to have steady communication, and that's where we're going to be posting stuff. So please keep track of that and reply to any emails or teacher discussion topics and assignments that we have posted there. Please be disciplined, manage your time wisely. It's easy to fall behind when you're doing stuff online. So please make sure that you're keeping track of that time and managing it well. And then as always, do your best, most complete work. We don't want blank assignments. We addressed that already, but please keep those off of our sites and instead make sure that your work is complete and your absolute best that you can do. At the bottom here, you'll see a list of teachers' names and an example of how to email them. Emails we provided as we start school as well. And that concludes our presentation here. We look forward to teaching you guys this year. Have a great rest of your day.